Yep, we're still in the dead of the offseason, so don't worry. There's still more boredom to come. But we'll be diving into things like, for example, here, Jalen Hurts, looking at the over-under on him, the Vegas numbers, if you will, and looking at a couple other players that have surprised slash entrenched themselves, at least in the public consciousness, or Philly Nation, I'll say. What's up, it's your boy Cintron, come back at you with another analysis slash no news video. And I kid you not, that's my real name. Yeah, we're short on news as the guys are on break. I almost said the kids are on break, but no news is good news. You know, we don't want to see anybody like the Dallas Cowboys getting arrested and things like that. But anyways, Jalen Hurts over-unders for 2023 season. What are Jalen Hurts over-under numbers for passing yards, passing touchdowns, rushing yards, rushing touchdowns for 2023? So let's get into it. Looking fierce. All right. Anyways, passing yards, 3,700.5. His passing totals in 2022 was 3,701. I think he could easily edge these numbers out because remember he missed a couple games with injury, and he was we weren't trying to show anything, but very limited in the last showing in week 18 versus the Giants. You know, we were just trying to go out there and clinch the victory. You know, forget the stats, throw out all the records. We just wanted a dub so we could sit at home for an extra week. But that being said, you know, we lost some weapons along the way. We lost, Quez Watkins' effectiveness was kind of down. I think he had that injury, that shoulder strain that we didn't know about until after the Super Bowl, as well as we lost Dallas Goedert for a couple weeks, and that cut into our production and effectiveness. We had to rely on backups, Grant Calcaterra, the rookie, as well as what's his name, Jack Stoll. But I mean, we're the replacements, as sums, but the part is greater than the whole. So I'm hoping that everybody can stay healthy for the most majority of the season, but we'll see, and you'll be able to pick up some chunk yards, or at least first down yardage, by way of something we'll get into a little bit later that'll tie into the stat below. But they predict them for 4,100. Yeah, I would say for me 4K is a safe number to go with. Passing touchdowns, so we had 22 in 2022. Funny. But I predict them to go easily over this. Just to go wild, because we can use the running backs in the short passing game. Even a little bit intermediate to too deep on wheel routes and routes that go up the field and carry defenders. So we'll see if those linebackers or coverage guys can be safeties or corners going to be overmatched when going against Agent Zero, DeAndre Swift. But using them will increase, touchdowns and give us some, easy dump offs that they can carry it and do the hard work into the red zone, into the end zone from the red zone, and help us out on some of those plays and maybe conserve Jalen, with the stat we look at below, because we don't want to rush him. We want to use that as kind of really a trump card, and really when we have to. But if we can use Swift, we can use especially Rashard Penny and make him get tough yardage / use his body to pound the whole pause. Then that would save us, on Jalen Hurts body savings, 50% off. But because we use him too much for my liking, even though it was effective, you just don't want to see your star franchise quarterback being used in that method. But whatever gets a dub. But I would say ticket him for about 30 or so touchdowns, man. AJ Brown's he's coming back better. So is Devonta Smith, and like I said, a season of Dallas Goedert. Those three weapons, man, can go off this year. And they were already playing well together before Goedert got hurt. But I'd like to see a full season of those three guys on the inside and outside. How they pay dividends, and emergence of a third receiver / the running backs. Man, that could put us over the top, because we're always searching for weapons. How would that look? But I really think it's going to work out to benefit in the air game, because we're going to always pay respect to the ground game, and that coming here. Rushing yards for Jalen Hurts, 700. 7.5. He had 760 last year. I'm gonna say under because I don't think we are gonna lean on that skill as much this year. Even though I would say it's not gonna be like a 50% decrease. It'll be let's just say a 10 to 15. I would say 15% is like a good marker, good percentage. We want to lessen that burden. We're gonna lean more on the running backs that we acquired, such already had. Kenneth Gainwell, the DeAndre Swifts, the Rashard Pennies, and maybe even when the Giants roll around, the Giant Killer, Boston Scotts of the world. Hey, we might even keep Trey Sermon over one of these guys as well. Keep 5, I don't think so, but I think we'll keep a stable of 4 running backs. And they'll cut into those, receiving rushing yard totals because we're going to lean more, I feel, on the run game. It may not be percentage-wise, like as far as like yardage, showing the yardage totals, but yeah, percentage-wise, I think we'll look more to it because we have so many guys to keep the other guys fresh, and we can just pound in waves, pause, and it's going to be more of an even distribution. We had a guy, Miles Sanders, last year who led the stable, had 1,200 yards, and he was a Pro Bowler, but even though Jalen and another back, I think Kenneth Gainwell did get a considerable number of yards, we still want to distribute that more evenly. Think about the 3-headed running back duo we had. A trio we had with Brian Westbrook. I think it's the number 2 back. Kirill Buckhalter is the number 3, and Deuce Staley as the head back. Man, it was a deadly trio, and they each brought different skills because Buckhalter was big, but not too big. But he still had some decent speed and good receiving skills. Brian Westbrook was a do-it-all. He could run, was elusive because he was tiny, like 5'8", but could run with a little bit of surprising power. But he had A1 receiving skills. And then we had Deuce Staley, who didn't give much in the receiving game, but man, he was a big, tough back to bring down. So, man, he killed us when he went up to the Steelers as well. Still had the juice. But, something reminiscent of that. Rashard Penny could play the pounding role, and then Gainwell and Swift could be, the receivers, and they kind of fit kind of nicely to each of their talents, but similar to those guys. But that being said, they can cover the spread a lot, and take a lot of pressure off of this guy named Jalen Hurts. Allow him to just simply hand the ball off, and I hope that they lean more on the run game, trust it more, and stick with it more. Because at times you would see that, they would just disappear. They would just forget that we have a guy back that we can hand it off to or to, and eschew that just to go with the passing game. We didn't really highlight the backs in the passing game, so that kind of left us one-sided, with a one-way attack, one-sided attack, I should say. But like I said, we'll see what Brian Johnson brings to the table this year, but hopefully more feng shui, or I should say balance. Rushing touchdown total. So he had a 13 last year, 11.5 is they're going under. Yeah, definitely, man. I'd say he's not gonna have double-digit touchdowns again this year, by way of, like I said, having those running backs. So they could easily still have 4 touchdowns each among the top 3 guys, and these will help games go by faster. The more you run the ball, and you can dominate the run game, get ahead, and you just pound the rock. Excellent. Yeah, the receiving numbers might suffer. Devonta Smith and AJ Brown might complain some, but hey, well, I'm sure as long as we're winning, they won't care as much about the stats suffering and coming down. So that's where I have it. They predict 8. I would say for Jalen Hurts, 6 to 8, so 6 or 7. I'm still gonna get it in. 6 to 9, I would say 6 to 9. But I'll say 7 is a good number. Anyways, let's go on to the 5 players whose stock is up right now. So you got a guy here. You know who that is. It's not Malcolm Jenkins. He's wearing the same number. Nolan Smith, man, he's a do-it-all guy. He's been playing first, second, and third team in OTA. He's a tireless guy, brings the juice. He says he's similar to Brandon Graham. He brings that pure, positive, good energy around the building. He just, goes 100 miles an hour. And he was attending Von Miller's pass rushing camp, so he's eager to get better, get after it, and just just the all around guy. Like he's got Michael Parsons, the enemy, teaching him how to sack Dak. I love that, man. Shout out to Thomas. Thomas, I can't think of his last name right now. Yeah, his show podcast. But yeah, man, it's gonna be intriguing to see what he brings to the table, being like our fourth pass rusher and on the edge. And yeah, I mean, he could play a multitude of roles as well in the linebacking core, but primarily I want to see him getting after the passer using that 4.39 speed. But he was everywhere and anywhere, and he's dedicated to his craft. Hounding the coaches about making him get better, trying to find a signature move. So we'll see. Man, yeah, he looks good though. Doing the ring drill, and the guy's explosive. All right, Nakobe Dean, we talked at length about him in certain videos, but he's got the green dot now. You have the power now. You have the responsibility. The power is yours. To quote a certain captain. But he's gonna be wearing a heavy crown, right? With the role he's gonna have, setting up defense and things. But he's trusted in that role because he's a smart, intelligent. He's shown. But we haven't really heard too much of him. But hopefully that's a good thing. He's keeping his head down and putting his nose to the grindstone, and he's in the books and studying the plays, and he's gonna know them like the back of his hand come training camp, and then being able to teach some of the other guys and help them line them up and stuff like that. So if we see him being very active on the field, it'll be a very good sign. Another guy in the linebacking core, Christian Ellis, man, he's been popping because you've heard about him picking off Jalen Hurts and Marcus Mariota in second consecutive open practices, but that happened within a span of a couple of weeks. But it started from last year, man. Looking at the film, it's not too much on him, but he quick diagnoses very quick. He gets there and knifes through guys and gets to the correct gap and uses that speed. It runs a 4.58, so he's a decent runner. He brings more size than Morrow, which I like. He's 6'3", 231. So the linebackers would both be in the 230s. He's playing alongside Kobe Dean. So he's youthful, inexperienced, but man, he brings a lot of passion, and he's gotten better. He was cut by the Vikings, and we scooped him up. Happily, we did, and luckily we did, fortuitously, and he's been grinding ever since. Really, just hungry to get after it and to get better. So we'll see if he can really fight for the job. But hey, even if he does, he might get downgraded by way of how we're making a trade for someone like Patrick Queen or Isaiah Simmons. We'll see, because he's practicing with the DBs now in Arizona land. But still, it'd be nice to bring in someone. But there's so many guys on the street right now. Rashad Evans and Miles Jack that could upgrade. I would say give us at least depth. But I think they're really trying to see how the cuts go. When every team has to cut the roster down to 53 from 90, and see if there are any gems to be picked up, like this monster drop in this RPG, see if we can get some good drops, some rare drops. I don't know, but there's a lot of guys who are gonna be out there though. All right, on to our fourth guy, Zach McPherson. He's been with us. This is his third or fourth year. I think it's his third, but he hasn't been able to play because Darius Slay and James Bradbury, Steven Nelson have had good injury luck and they didn't get hurt, so he's been their backup since. But coming out of Texas Tech, he spent some time in the slot, so he can use those skills. And I'm mad that they're finally just realizing that, hey, we should cross-train this guy, because Devontae Max has been made a glass these past couple of years, and he's been out. And when he's been out, we've greatly suffered because the teams are just like, hey, let's target that guy to get backup. He's not up to task, not up to par, and the best ability is availability. He hasn't been out there, so with him training and him looking decent, looking good, haven't heard anything from bad. So I mean, it's at least a decent, good sign that things are heading in the right direction. But I don't know how long Devontae will continue to be on the sidelines, but we'll see going into training camp. If he's out, Devontae doesn't need to this training time. Technically, he does just to get on the field and play with the other guys, get some chemistry going. But he's enough of a veteran that he's in his 5th or 6th year, So he doesn't needed to get ready, but more so to get into football shape and getting into playing condition as far as playing along. I mean, playing in this new defense, because it is a new defense. But Zach could really use that time on the field, and I'm anxious to see what he would look like there, and it could extend to us having better packaging and more deeper packaging. We could have dime packages now instead of just only nickels. So, but you don't want to take too many of your linebackers off the field as well. So, but we'll have some looks most likely that only have Nakobe Dean on the field as the only linebacker, the Mike. So, and let's bring us to our last guy, Aaron Sipos. That brings us to our last guy, and yeah, we're expecting him to beat out the rookie, but like I said, I prefer. Most people prefer another guy. But if Sipos can be steady, whatever, just don't screw up. But I'd love to see Ty Zettner stay on the practice squad. But he's in the spotlight. I think this will elevate his play. But will it be fool's gold, or will it ring true? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Anyways, you're not even watching though. I know you didn't make it to the end of the video, but it's all good. It's all freaking good. Because as I always say, it's fly, Eagles, fly, and let's motherfucking go. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you want. Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs, or other social media.